The story I'm about to tell you is how my card game, Stribe, got thousands of dollars on Kickstarter, and why I frankly really regretted it. Hey YouTube, I'm Myre, and here are a few things about me. I'm French, left-handed, I can draw Shrek from memory, and I hate birthdays. Why would you even hate birthdays? It's so fun. It's really not fun. It's super noisy, you never get the gifts you asked for, and you have to be happy during the whole day, or at least just pretend to. But I got to do this one thing, and only on my birthdays, that made it all worth it. Going to Toys R Us. Entering those sliding doors, there was only one thing I had in mind, and it was right there. Between the aisle of plastic babies for babies and the remote-controlled cars was what I came for. The Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I spent hours and hours building decks, dueling my best friend, destroying my little brother, and watching the anime. I was dreaming Yu-Gi-Oh, eating Yu-Gi-Oh, I was obsessed. And I grew up, always with this deep disappointment in my chest that it would never be like in the anime.
Call on the Blue Eyes White Dragon! No way!
I've always patiently waited for someone to do it, but it never came. And in 2019, I took the matter in my own hands, and we created Stribe. Before I tell you everything about this crazy story, the game is actually available as print and play in the description below. I'll just tell you more at the end of the video. For now, just sit back, grab a little tea or coffee, and let's go back to 2019. I'm in my second year of animation school. We just got our latest group assignment, creating an augmented reality animation project. And I don't even know what augmented reality is. A quick Google search later, and I realize I really don't want to do this.
Nice job, team.
I want to animate cool fights. I want to design weird characters. I don't care about AR. After a second of disappointment, I get thinking, why not use this as an excuse to make something I've always wanted to do? Let's just make a board game.
That's a great idea!
I naturally team up with 5 friends that had the same vision, a team of incredible artists and animators, all super talented, and all wanting to make a game. But we had a few rules we had to follow. We had to design 5 unique cards, all pair them up together, and animate all of those pairs in 3 weeks. That's a lot of work in itself, but we wanted to make a game. So, between creating the art,
creating the game rules, creating the Unity app, make the UI for the game design, balance, fix the bugs.
It was gonna be so much work. So after a little croissant break, we got working. We had this one question we needed to answer first. What was the game gonna look like? Everyone started doodling. Some did baseball robots or futuristic bees. I started drawing as well with no precise idea in mind. I did a yoga bird, a fisherman, or even a wizard robot. You always reach that point on a project where it just clicks. For us, it was this piece of concept art. This was gonna be Stribe. Having only one day left to design, I didn't sleep that night. Instead, I created the 5 tribes: mouse, plant, cactus, ghost, all living peacefully in harmony before everything changed, before the god of chaos himself, Namor. While I showed up the next morning with no sleep and the designs, my team had come up with a simple and clever game loop. Flip a card and play one from your hand to create a duo. The first card would take the lead, the second one would influence it. Each tribe would have its unique power and ability, and we used multiple Excel sheets, math formulas, and even a game designer friend to help. With only 2 weeks left to the deadline, things were starting to get quite tight. We still had to create 25 2D hand-drawn animations, with unique fusion designs, cleaned, colored, and composited, so we all got animating. Animation after animation, things were taking shape, and the world of Stribe was coming to life. It was my first time taking the lead on a project, and it just made me so happy to see my friends use those little designs I came up with to create even cooler animations out of it. I'm a really weird artist. Every time the first step of a project is coming up with a name and making a sick logo out of it. It was a bit hard to find a good name for this project. Tribe, really hard to pronounce. Solio, Battle Dudes, but we settled on Stribe, which is a mix of strive and tribe, and I think the logo looks pretty cool. Now, I have to admit it, I've been hiding something from you since the beginning of this video. It wasn't just us. So, this is Colin. He's the game dev. He really carried the project with me, coding all of the game and troubleshooting it, working on game design and game balancing. We wanted the game experience to feel as smooth as possible and fun to play. So the augmented reality would not only be a base for animation, but also for user experience. The app tracks the health of each player, their turn to play, the damages inflicted. Stribe is not only a card game, it's some kind of weird hybrid that no one ever did before, and we even went to the extent of having an original soundtrack just for this card game, made by my super talented friend Bazil. So we have 5 cards, 25 animation, a cool functioning app, an enjoyable and fun game to play. Stribe Exists. It's fun, it's unique, and actually it looks kinda damn good. The school was super happy with our assignment and gave us a really good grade. We all left school for the summer and forgot about the projects for a few weeks, but something was telling me it couldn't just end there. I needed more. During the summer, I went on an internship to Mexico with 2 friends from the same school. One evening, while chatting, we came up to the same conclusion. Stribe needed a Kickstarter. It was a good game. It had to exist and people needed to know about it. They needed to play it. It was my first time doing one, and it took forever. Between finding manufacturers, making a marketing plan, creating all the goodies for the game, because I, of course, made so much goodies, reaching out to influencers for some exposure. I didn't really have holidays that summer. For some reason, I thought it was a really good idea to have so many goodies on Kickstarter that people had to back the game. But this was the dumbest idea. I designed an embroidery cap, an animal pin, a sticker sheet, some postcards, a risograph print, and even a resin figurine. The holidays were quickly over, and I went back to school. During that last year, we were making a full 2D short movie by ourselves. I really needed to be done with that Kickstarter. After month and month of grind and countless hours spent, the Kickstarter finally ended. We had sold more than 100 copies of Stribe. I had made so many goodies that I didn't make any profit out of this. Every cent went into producing the game.
I'm poor.
Yeah, you are.
One by one, everything started arriving to my house, and I was storing everything in my bedroom. I packed everything into shipping boxes, drove to the nearest post office, then sent the babies off. A few days later, I started getting more and more feedback. People were playing the game. Switzerland, France, Belgium, even to the US and Canada. Everyone was just super happy to have backed this unique card game. So why did I say this was one of the worst ideas I've ever had in my life? Well, during this year of hard work, I learned 3 big lessons. Hard work is always better when it's about a project you really love. If I didn't really love Stribe and all the characters we created, I would have given up a long time ago. The team is also super important. This project is not only mine. It's also a game made with all my friends, for my friends, and we still play it to this day. The second lesson would be that maybe the world isn't ready for a game that has a phone in the game loop. A phone is distracting. You have your emails, you want to scroll Instagram, and a board game is something to assemble people together, to play as a family, to play with friends. A phone feels like an intruder around the table. And 3, the big lesson of it all. Just don't make too many goodies. Even though money was not what I was looking for in this project, it's energy and time consuming to design, produce everything. But I got pretty cool figurines. Maybe it's just being dramatic or being French saying it was the worst idea ever, but next time I do a Kickstarter, I'll do it differently. So I was thinking, why not give Stribe a second life? A card game is hard to produce and to sell. So I made it available to you in the description below as just print and play. The app is there and also some goodies too. Yeah, I just love goodies. I think it's an awesome way to support my work and all of the effort we've put into the game. So yeah, just check it out. Ciao.